Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
They just want justice.
My aunt was kind and loving and caring and didn't deserve a life taken away from her.
A judge makes a key ruling in a murder case that went unsolved for more than 3 decades. And the case of the Lapeer County man charged with the 1989 rape and murder of a Washtenaw County woman could be headed to trial. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill. The victim's family was in court today when the judge handed down the decision. Our Jay Scott Smith joins us here in studio. Jay, what did her family have to say?
Well, Kim and Ty, it was mostly a sense of relief today after the decision was handed down that could send this nearly 36-year-old unresolved case to trial. As it stands right now, Buster Robbins is being held on $500,000 bond. He faces a charge of felony murder in the death of Beverly Ann Wivel.
I am reversing the district court's finding of no probable cause. I'm remanding the case back to the district court with the instruction to bind the matter over for trial.
As Buster Robbins looked on over a Zoom feed, Beverly Wivel's nieces celebrated the decision by Judge Janan Hamoud to send this case back to district court, where it will be determined if there's enough evidence for the 69-year-old to stand trial for the violent rape and murder of Wivel almost 36 years ago.
It's sad, because of what my aunt went through, the thoughts of what my aunt went through when she was murdered. She was just trying to rest before she had to go pick up my cousin from school, and what she had to go through, what did she go through before she was murdered.
The incident happened on September 18, 1989. According to the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office, Wivel was sleeping in her car after dropping her son off at school in Kenton Township when she was kidnapped, raped, and shot with a .45 less than an hour later. A witness heard the gunshot and saw a blue Chrysler New Yorker with a white top speeding away from the scene as Wivel was left for dead on the side of the road in Superior Township. Robbins was not a suspect at the time of the killing. However, the case was reopened 3 years ago. Robbins' wife told investigators that in 1989 he drove a car that matched the description of the one that was caught leaving the scene. Investigators also found a .45 caliber magazine with ammunition in the home and DNA evidence from the 1989 rape kit, which was sent for forensic testing in September of 2024, found DNA matching Robbins. Megason wept in the courtroom and lamented that Robbins, who has 4 kids and a number of grandchildren and great-grandchildren, had been able to live his life while her family has suffered.
For 35 years, this man has been able to create a family, watch his kids grow up, grandkids grow up, where my cousin Dale and her daughter that was looking for her found the family and was told, sorry, you can't meet your mom. She was murdered.
Now, as mentioned, last week Robbins was given a $5 million bond, and he's required to wear a GPS tether and live with his daughter. Now, prosecutors fear he's a flight risk because of, along with this murder and rape case, investigators also found child pornography on one of his tablets, and they're looking into other cases that he's connected with. So, Kim and Ty, it looks like this case is far from over.
Incredible. Yeah. Okay, Jay, we appreciate your reporting on this.
Drivers in Wayne County can once again pass through 8 Mile and Middle Belt area after a shutdown for an acid spill. That's what happened earlier today. The road has been back open since 4 o'clock. Now, we showed you this picture yesterday. Take a look of the big mess on the Livonia-Farmington Hills border. The road was supposed to be back open last night, but we're told an additional contractor was needed to correctly deal with the spill. Hazmat teams say there is no threat to the public.
It's a problem money just can't fix. While the EPA now says the water in Flint is safe, people living there are still skeptical after a huge breakdown in public trust. Now, it's been 11 years. 11 years later, not a single person has been charged, and the residents who were poisoned with lead haven't seen a dime. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester has followed this story since the beginning. Hank, there just doesn't seem to be closure to this.
It certainly doesn't, Kimberly. And can you believe that it has been 11 years? We've been here in the heart of downtown Flint, walking around the city, talking with the former mayor, the people that call this community home. You can see the source of the problem here over my shoulder, the Flint River. This problem first exposed in 2014. And all these years later, people are still relying mainly on bottled water. Why? Well, it all comes down to one thing. trust. In Flint today, water is still the talk of the town.
All bottled water.
And now are you buying it now, or
Yep, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably still probably just buying the water, which I do. I just go out and buy my water.
The big news from the EPA that the water here has been tested multiple times and free of copper and lead. In fact, 17 recent tests passed water quality standards. Lead and copper levels are normal. 97% of the lead service lines have been replaced, and the water testing continues. The EPA coming out saying that the water is now safe here in Flint. What are your thoughts on that?
I was disappointed.
Karen Weaver was Flint's mayor at the height of the water crisis and says while the EPA news is a step in the right direction, there are still big problems in Flint. The biggest, the lack of trust.
No one has been held accountable for what has happened in Flint. And so it makes it difficult to trust when we know the people that did these things to us have gotten away with everything they've gotten away with. No one has gotten any money yet.
Many in Flint still rely on bottled water. And some say they still don't trust information coming from the EPA or elected leaders. Why? They were lied to for many years. And 11 years after this crisis started, no one has been charged criminally. And no one in this city has received any money from the big payout that was promised.
Every year you're told, okay, the money's coming. Okay, the money's coming. And it never happens. It's hard to regain that kind of trust.
I want to read to you part of a statement from the EPA administrator just released. It says, lifting this emergency order is a cause for celebration for residents of Flint who worked so hard and sacrificed so much to get to this point. We will remain a partner providing technical assistance to the city as efforts continue to maintain and upgrade water infrastructure. The good news in all of this is that there has been a lot of movement forward. As you heard, 97% of the lead service lines have been replaced. They hope to have every single bad pipe ripped out of this city by the end of the year. We're live here tonight in downtown Flint. Hank Winchester, Local 4.
All right, Hank, thank you.
Now to live pictures of the U.S. Capitol in D.C. tonight. President Trump made a visit there today to talk to House Republicans as he pushes his spending bill. This comes just 24 hours after a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Mr. President. With his promised legislative agenda on the line, President Trump visiting Capitol Hill today in an effort to compel a key group of Republican lawmakers to get on board and support a massive multi-trillion-dollar package to maintain his signature tax cuts and reshape spending.
I think we have unbelievable unity. I think we're going to get everything we want.
Described as one big beautiful bill, the measure has put GOP members at odds over how to pay for spending increases on the president's priorities, such as extending the 2017 tax cuts and border security. Today, the president pressed blue state Republicans who want to increase deductions for state and local taxes, known as SALT, to abandon that policy and accept this bill. And according to two lawmakers in the room, the president used tough language in the private meeting, bluntly addressing lawmakers who want more cuts to bring down the deficit with a warning, don't F with Medicaid in this bill. The president described the session this way.
There was no shouting. I think it was a meeting of love.
The White House claims this plan will not add to the deficit, but some nonpartisan analysts project it would add between $2 to $4 trillion over the next decade. Democrats fiercely oppose the bill and propose cuts to Medicaid,
which would kick 13.7 million Americans off of their health insurance.
Democrats also argue that Republicans are attempting to hide the details by working on the bill overnight. The Rules Committee now scheduled to take up the bill at 1 in the morning.
You do that because you don't want the American public to know what's in your big, ugly bill.
House Speaker Mike Johnson appearing confident.
We are going to land this plane and deliver this.
Now, of course, the goal is to get the bill to the president's desk by the July 4th holiday.
Well, just as with updated yearly flu shots, there has been a recommendation that everyone have updated annual COVID boosters.
But that is now going to change through new COVID vaccine guidelines from the FDA. And Dr. McGeorge joining us now to explain the new COVID booster guidelines.
Well, Ty and Kimberly, the new booster guidelines will bring the U.S. in line with most other European nations, limiting annual boosters primarily to 2 groups: those over 65 and anyone between 6 months and 64 years that also have high-risk conditions for severe COVID. Now, the list of those conditions is actually very broad and includes some obvious things like cancer, lung disease, and heart conditions, but it also includes some broad categories like depression, obesity, and even physical inactivity, which is going to expand the pool of people that are eligible for the booster. Now, critics say this is going to limit people's choice to get vaccinated, particularly if they are doing it to protect a close contact who is elderly or otherwise at high risk. Importantly, the booster will not be approved for healthy people between 6 months and 64 years until there's further study. Back to you.
All right, Dr. McGeorge, thank you. We do have some sad news to pass along tonight. George Wendt, the actor best known for his role as Norm on the NBC show Cheers, has passed away. His family says he died this morning at his home. He appeared in more than 260 episodes of the Boston bar sitcom and was nominated for 6 Emmys for his role. George Wendt, dead at age 76.
Back to the forecast, some live pictures here from our Metro Airport Skycam on this Tuesday. Yeah, pretty gray out there today. We've seen rain moving in over the past few hours.
We have, and you can see it right here. There it is on Exact Track 40 radar. And sounds like you'd better get used to seeing this over the next few days here.
Yeah, the Forewarn weather team is tracking multiple rounds of rain as we head into the holiday weekend.
Let's get over to Forewarn meteorologist Kim Adams. Kim, what are you seeing out there? I know a lot of green.
A lot of green. There is a lot of rain out there, especially on the west side, moving to the east side. But we even have some pockets in Macomb and Oakland counties that are now getting some light rain. The heavier rain is still out to our west. So we'll take a little bit of a closer look here. Howell getting a good dousing of rain right along I-96. You get out to 12 Oaks Mall. It's raining there, and a few sprinkles in Plymouth. Now we'll head on over to the east side and we'll look at the Grosse Pointes right now. A few sprinkles there, but otherwise pretty dry, even dry here in downtown Detroit. But that is going to change as all that rain is going to head into parts of Metro Detroit. And the other big story is that it's just downright chilly outside, with temperatures not even cracking the 60-degree mark. Closest we come is Mount Clemens at 59, 56 out at Metro Airport, 55 in Mount Clemens. So coming up, we'll talk about the holiday weekend forecast and if we can get this rain and cool air out of here before the unofficial kickoff to summer begins.